Hello, hi, welcome to Jackie's YouTube channel. Basically today for my first talking video, I'm going to be doing my March reads. Technically, I know March is not over yet, but I really wanted to do my March reads because I know after spring break is over, I'm not going to have any time to read anything because teachers are gonna be super nice to me and not shove work literally up my ass. Anyways, yeah. So let's talk about the books that I read this month. So my first book that I read was XOXO by Xoxo, and this book was so good. Basically, Jenny goes to Korea with her mom to take care of her grandmother, and she goes to school during her period in Korea. She goes to a music school and she meets a K-pop idol, and you know, things happen. I might be a little biased because I do enjoy K-dramas and I do like K-pop, so like this book definitely was up my alley. Yeah, this book was so good. There was like just so many classic K-drama things. Literally a K-drama if it was a book. Just there were so many classic K-drama things like food, the bus scene, and just everything about it was just so good. I loved it a lot. Like I said, I may be biased because I do love K-dramas and K-pop, but it was just so good. I highly recommend this one to read, especially if you like K-pop and K-dramas. So for my next book, I have The Invisible Life of Addy Larue by V.E. Schwab. This book was literally heart-wrenching. It was so good, but it just, after you read this book, you get this, you like close it and then you get this sense of like loneliness inside you. Like, I don't know. Personally, I got those feelings. Super freaking sad. So basically we follow the life of Adeline, and she basically was born in the 1500s in France, and she was told not to pray to the gods after dark until she doesn't get what she wants, and she decides to pray to the gods after dark. She makes a deal with the devil, and here she is, still the same form in 2014. This was super good. I don't know, like a lot of people shit on this book, but I absolutely loved it just because of like, it was like forbidden romance, dark fantasy or whatever, kind of dark fantasy. Well, yeah, because the devil was in there. Anyways, yeah, a lot of people didn't like it, especially the reviews that I saw on TikTok, but I personally love this. Also, I'd love to get another copy because there are so many more beautiful copies of this book, and like, I'd love to get my hands on them. But yeah, this is The Invisible Life of Addy Larue. So for my next book, I have, it's like a series, so for the next 3 books, they're all like from the same writer and like somewhat in a series because all the characters are like interconnected. But basically this is the Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang. So this is the first book in like the series per se. Technically these books can be standalones, but I highly recommend reading them as a series because like I said, all the characters are interconnected and it just brings everything together. So basically we follow the main character Stella. Her parents are like wanting her to get married, get a boyfriend, have children, because yeah. And like her coworkers are like super like weird about it too and like super involved. So then Stella decides, you know what, sure, I'll try it out, like I'll be very open. So basically she decides to download an app and hire an escort, and that's where she meets Michael. Michael was like just, you know, I really loved Michael. I loved Michael and Stella. This book was really good. One of my favorites out of the series, but yeah, it was so good. This is like spicy, so it is spicy, so you know, just fair warning, if you're not old enough to read spicy stuff, don't read it, but if you are, go ahead and read it. But this book was really good. Next book that I read was The Heart Principle. So technically this is the last book in the series. Like I said, they're standalone, so you can read this by themselves or like all together, but yeah. So this is the last book in the series. I didn't know that, so yeah, do your research before you like read that. But anyways, this is the story of Kwon and Anna. So basically Anna is burnt out, she's basically depressed, so she has a therapist, she goes to the therapist, and like things happen. And then with her boyfriend wants to basically open up their relationship just in case things get serious, because he wants to be in a serious relationship with her, but he doesn't know if he's ready yet. So basically they're in an open relationship, and then Anna decides to download a dating app, and that's where she meets Kwon. She tries to hook up with Kwon a couple of times, and you know, it doesn't really work out. Yeah, but they still stick together. Through like them trying. Then Anna like has some family stuff, issues, and then just she realizes like Kwon's always there for her. And yeah, this is that book. I feel like this was my favorite out of the three, my most favorite, just because it pulled on my heart. It just pulled on my heartstrings at the very correct times, and just the style of her writing, the author's writing, was like just peak at this book. It was just so good. I absolutely love this. There's some parts that I did expect, some parts that I didn't, but you know, it's so good. This is also pretty spicy, so not as spicy as Kiss Quotient, but you know, just if you're not old enough to read spicy stuff, like I said, don't read spicy stuff. Okay, so this is the second book of this series, but I read this last because like I said, I didn't know. But we have The Bride Test. This one made me laugh. I didn't cry to this one because out of the two I did cry, but this one I did not cry. This one was just freaking hilarious. So basically we meet Kai. Kai's Kwon's brother actually, so yeah. We have Kai. Kai's mom goes to Vietnam looking for a wife for him, and that's where he meets Esmeralda, and where she meets Esmeralda, and she brings Esmeralda to the States to like meet Kwon and like stay with Kwon, so like, you know, they can get married, test some stuff out before marriage or whatever. That's basically what happens. And it's just, Kai was so hilarious. Kai, I don't even know if he was meant to be funny at some points, but there were so many parts where he did make me laugh. Same with Esmeralda. Like, she was just like the most like random character. It did remind me of a Filipino drama though, so maybe that's why I liked it. This was like one of like, this is the bottom of like my like what wasn't my favorite, but it was still very good out of this series. But this book, this is really, really good. So for our next book, this is The Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Su Lin Tan. This book was just full fantasy romance. Like, I gotta say, was definitely not expecting the ending, I guess. Was not expecting the ending, but it was really, really good. Really, really good. Basically, it's the daughter of the moon goddess. If you don't know, Chungha and Heyyy. Chungha is not supposed to have a daughter. She keeps her daughter in secret, and then she doesn't want the people on the moon that she has a daughter, so she sends her daughter away, and you're just following her like story and like how to get back to her mother, I guess. This was super freaking good. Prior to reading, I guess I would say, like, just educate yourself a little bit on the story of the moon goddess Chungha and Heyyy, because I think that's really good knowledge to know, because it is mentioned a couple of times in the book. So I mean, it's called The Daughter of the Moon Goddess, so hopefully y'all know who the moon goddess is. Anyways, this was literally full fantasy. If you know about traditional Chinese outfits, which is, I'm pretty sure they're called a hanfu, if you know all about that stuff, and just look it up, because I feel like that's such an important part, because they talk about outfits and like hair a lot, and just like all the cool mythical stuff in traditional Chinese tales and myths, like freaking flying clouds, demon realms, like hello, like it was just so good. It was right up my alley, because I do love a good fantasy, especially if there's Asian representation. Like, this book was freaking amazing. I highly recommend it. I think for my top like 3 books out of the 6 that I read are V.E. Schwab's The Invisible Life of Addy Larue. This one was just so good. I absolutely love this one. So that one's one of my tops. The next one is The Heart Principle by Helen Huang. This one was really good. I think it like once again, it just pulled my heartstrings the right way, and it was definitely up my alley with books, especially like with romance. I want like it to be dramatic, but like not so like overly cheesy. Like yeah, this one was really good. And for my final one, I have Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Sulin Tan. I just want to mention the cover art for all the books because they were all so cool. Like, just look at how gorgeous that is. Like, it just gives you like all the elements of the story and definitely how you imagine it. Anyways, hope y'all enjoyed my first talking video and y'all weren't sick of me talking about books. Hopefully I can do more videos like this because I did enjoy filming this. I really did. Yeah, hope you enjoyed today's video and see y'all next time. Bye bye.